What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Primetime Sports Podcast, hosted by Joey McLaury. So tonight, big game for the Giants. I'm going to give a quick preview of tonight's Monday Night Football matchup between the Dallas Cowboys, who are 1-1 heading into this game, and the New York Giants, who are 2-0. Big game tonight for the Giants at MetLife Stadium. It's actually the only Monday Night Football game for the Giants this season, so a big game for them, especially going against the Dallas Cowboys, who the Giants are 1-9 against in the last 5 years against the Cowboys. So tonight will be a big game for the Giants. Obviously, the Cowboys have their injuries. Dak Prescott is out. Cooper Rush, their backup quarterback, former Central Michigan quarterback, played well last week against the Cincinnati Bengals in their win over the Bengals. They are also without wide receiver Michael Gallup, and then also their tight end Dalton Schultz seems doubtful for tonight's game. The Giants do have their injuries as well. With Leonard Williams out, he's been having a good season too, just got hurt last week. He will be out of tonight's matchup, along with Wan'Dale Robinson, missing another game, missed last week, was out within the first quarter or two of his debut in the NFL against the Titans in Week 1. He will be out again tonight as well. And then also Kadarius Toney will be out as well. So he's been struggling with injuries his entire 2-year career now in the NFL. He really hasn't been healthy for a long stint at all. It's one injury to the next with him, so he will be out of tonight's game. Look for Richie James to be out there a lot. Kenny Golladay, who's been frustrated with his playing time, should be playing more tonight with those two injuries. I think Kenny Golladay actually catches his first touchdown as a Giant tonight. I know I've not been high on Kenny Golladay. I've been very critical of him and his effort, but I think tonight he catches his first touchdown as a New York Giant under the primetime lights. Daniel Jones in primetime actually is 0-8 in his career. So I'm going to give you guys some bold predictions. Daniel Jones has not thrown for 200 passing yards in a game yet this season in each of his first two games. I think he throws for 250 passing yards tonight. Book that. That's my first bold prediction. My second one, Kenny Golladay catching his first touchdown as a New York Giant. And my third one, Thibodeaux, 5th overall pick in this year's draft, will be making his NFL debut tonight on Monday Night Football for the Giants. I think he gets his first sack of his NFL career tonight. Azeez Ojulari, second-year pass rusher out of Georgia, second-round pick in 2021. Will be on the field as well for the New York Giants. So the Giants are getting a lot of pass rush help back. Obviously, losing Leonard Williams doesn't help, but getting those two guys back will be huge. Obviously, O'Shane Ximines, too, has been playing very well for the Giants with all those injuries. He's been playing great in each of the first 2 weeks of the season. I expect Tay Crowder to have a great game as well in the run-stopping game. He's been great the first 2 games of the season. I think he has another great game tonight. And then Adoree Jackson. Now he's going up against C.D. Lamb. Obviously, Week 1, didn't have the hardest opponent in the Titans. Had to cover Robert Woods and split some time covering Treylon Burks. Now Week 2, last week against the Panthers, covered Robbie Anderson a little bit. Obviously, DJ Moore as well. Tonight, C.D. Lamb, his toughest matchup yet. I think he has a great game tonight. Adoree Jackson, I think he shines under the lights of Monday Night Football. As I said, the Giants are 0-8 in Daniel Jones' tenure as a starting quarterback in primetime games. I think Daniel Jones gets his first primetime win tonight. I think the Giants win this game 27-23. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a hard-fought game. Obviously, the first 2 weeks for the Giants, the ball kind of rolled their way in both wins. Obviously, they were not blowout wins. Both games very close, coming down to the last second, the last drive. But I think the Giants tonight get the third win of the season, start the season 3-0. This will be the Giants' first time starting the season 3-0 if they were to win tonight's game against Dallas. It would be the first time the Giants are 3-0 since 2009. The last time they were 2-0 was 2016. This will be their first time being 3-0 since 2009. So it would be a great chance for the Giants to keep rising to the top. Obviously, the last few years have been very tough for them. They've been rising steadily now. Each of the first 2 games, building one win to the next. Brian Daboll, very aggressive head coach. I expect him to use Saquon Barkley a lot early tonight in the game. I just saw from Bobby Skinner, who talks for Talking Giants, a podcast on John Boy Media. He said that Saquon's 39 rush attempts on the year, 28 of them have come in the second half. I expect the Giants, and like he said, he expects Saquon Barkley to be used early in the game with Dallas's run defense being very good. You got to get Saquon established right away. Obviously, the Giants need to limit their turnovers as well, since Dallas was one of the best defenses in the NFL last year in turnovers forced. So the Giants have their work cut out for them tonight, but I think the Giants' offensive lines are playing well. Obviously, they're going against Micah Parsons, who I think will have a good game tonight. Micah Parsons has been electric. Now his second year in the NFL. He's been great right away since he stepped into the league. But I expect the Giants to put either Andrew Thomas, Evan Neal on him, right tackle, left tackle, no matter which side Micah Parsons is lining up from, and I expect the Giants to hopefully contain him. I'm sure he'll have a couple good plays. Hopefully the Giants contain him tonight under the lights of Monday Night Football. So my prediction is the Giants win 27-23. I think Daniel Jones throws for 250 yards. I think he might even have a couple passing touchdowns as well. Hopefully Saquon Barkley gets around 75, 80 yards on the ground, and I'm hoping Adoree Jackson has a great game covering C.D. Lamb. So that's really the only Cowboys receiver you have to worry about. Obviously Noah Brown has had a great week 1 and week 2, but I think, obviously, Adoree Jackson will be on C.D. Lamb. He's a more talented receiver, and Adoree's paid to cover wide receiver 1. Adoree's been electric in the first 2 games of the season. I think I saw a statistic the other day that he's allowed 1 completion on 7 targets in the first 2 games of the season. So Adoree Jackson has been locked in. He's been great in the run game as well. He's a great tackling defensive back. He's not afraid to step up in the run game, make a big tackle. I expect him to have a great game tonight as well. Hopefully Daniel Jones shines under the lights of Monday Night Football too. And most importantly, I'm just hoping the Giants get the win. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Obviously, I want Daniel Jones to succeed. I want Saquon Barkley to succeed. I want them both to do big things, continue to get wins for this Giants team. But most important for me is the Giants winning this game. Then obviously, I'm rooting for Daniel Jones more than anyone since, as you guys know, if you've listened to any episode I've talked about the Giants, I'm the biggest Daniel Jones supporter and believer probably in the entire world, honestly. I've defended him tooth and nail. I know he's had some tough plays, especially week 1 at a tough interception in the red zone against the Titans. We still end up winning that game, so no harm, no foul. We got the win. I'm fine with that. And then obviously he's had some turnover issues fumbling-wise, but he's played well in the first few games of the season. I expect him to have another good game tonight. I know he hasn't thrown for 300 passing yards yet, but whatever way we're getting wins, that's all that matters to me at the end of the day. He threw 2 touchdowns and 1 interception in week 1 against the Titans and 188 passing yards week 2 against Carolina, 176 passing yards and 1 touchdown with an 87.4 passer rating. He has a 99.4 passer rating on the year with 3 touchdowns to 1 interception and 364 passing yards. I expect him to have 250 passing yards tonight and 2 passing touchdowns. Anyways, thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to this. As always, I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good one. Thank you. Go Giants.